Today I am going to Alastaro racetrack to ride my Honda, and it is my first time on the racetrack with the car. I have rode motorcycles quite much on racetrack, probably like something between 50 and 100 days. The track day is organized by Autoliitto, which is some kind of car union of Finland, and I haven't been in any of their happenings before. I'm a member because you get this cool car magazine if you are a member, and it's the fee and some prices of when traveling with ferries and stuff like that, but mainly because the magazine and the price isn't that bad. So we are now on the lower pitch and the bikes ended their riding, so now we are changing to upper pitch, and there is quite large diversion on type of cars that there is everything from some farmer, some Skoda Octavia to I think those were Formula 4s or something like that, and then there's also some Ferraris and lot of Porsches and one Maserati and quite lot of quite fast looking cars, so I think that my and my Honda are probably quite good on the slow group at first. So after a couple of minutes it is my turn to go track, and now it's raining and I think the road is going to be wet on my turn, and I have like 4 mm thread left on the back tires, so it's going to be interesting. So here is the actual driving part, and I am doing voiceover for this because the in-car audio quality was very poor on those GoPros while driving, and excuse me my voice, I got a bit of flu going on, so it is quite funny voice for me right now, but it's getting better already. So first couple stints were on the wet track, and the Honda was really difficult to drive fast on those conditions. It is quite short car and tires aren't that good on my car, and there isn't any driving aids, no electronics helping you, so you have to be able to drive the car without those. And after the raining has stopped, there is half dry track for a couple of sessions, and it was also very tricky. The Honda is quite a snappy car to drive when it's wet, so you have to be very careful. And when the track was getting drier, it was surprisingly how hard it is to keep yourself on the place while driving, even that the Honda has quite good seats, but I think I am quite large for those seats. And it keep getting bit drier and drier, and the grip was quite good already on this point, and I started to reach limit of those gears that I have chosen to use, because I was driving mostly on third gear and second gear, and as the track gets drier and drier, I maybe should use 4 and bit more third gear also. But I was concentrating on the other parts, so I hit ref limiter a couple of times here and there, and I don't matter it, the Honda will take it just fine. And there I got overtaken by that Ford. I'm not sure which model is it. Some kind of Cosworth or wannabe Cosworth. If you look at giant ping, that suggests something about that. And with bike it was very easy to get more speed while following a bit faster driver. But I think it's with car it's not that easy, because cars are very different than the other guy may have a lot faster car, but with the bikes, if I have 1000cc super bike with good tires, there isn't any faster things on the track. So you can just ride the speed of another guy, and if you don't make mistake, there isn't any mistakes. You can keep up with it. But here is I made a mistake. The straight was a bit wet still on points, and I think I hit some wet point while giving too much of power, and it spinned, and that was the only spin that I had. And there is quite good amount of space to spin around and drive off the track, but I think it isn't ideal to drive very fast out of track, because you can still damage your car on the grass or gravel if you are going very fast. So I didn't take the faster corners very aggressive on these conditions, and I got only 2 sessions on completely dry track, so I weren't able to get my speed up on those. And here I was overtaken by BMW, I think that was M6, and we drive quite similar speed. He was obviously much faster on the straights, and I was faster on some slower corners, and maybe on those fast corners also, because I have a much cheaper car, so I don't have to be so careful. And here is some driving on the completely dry track. It was much nicer. The Honda was very easy on the dry track. There wasn't any moments after the track has dried, and I became faster and faster on every stint. One of my biggest mistakes is that my bike driving past haunts me, because usually in Finland all those are those car curbstones, or what those are, those white and blue things on the edges of the track. Usually those are so rough that you cannot use them with your bike, and I have never used them. But here at Alastaro they are smooth enough that you can drive with your car over them, so you can take much sharper lines while driving over those. And I didn't realize that. And here starts 1 lap of dry conditions, and this was one of my fastest laps, so I let you watch this and talk more after this. So now we have Emma Kiviläinen, professional driver, and she is going to show how it should be done. Siellä on starttinappi siellä. Brum brum. So I decided to get professional driver to show some example, and Emma was not ever driving S2000, so this was her first time on the car, and he drove very fast from the start, and she used the whole track better. She drove over those curbstones and also used a bit more gears. And here is one fast lap while Emma is driving. And I think that Emma dared to drive those faster corners also in much closer to limit. So there is one point that where I can get also more speed out of my car. But I think I was doing alright for the first day at the track with my car, and I'm hoping to get faster on the next time. So I left the racetrack now and didn't hit anything. I spinned once, but I think it doesn't matter. And as you just saw, I have still something to learn. But I think it was pretty good first day with the car on the track. I think I have to train shifting while under braking a bit more, so I can use more gears without any hassle. I can almost say that the driving car on the track is more fun than bike. At least this car. I'm not sure if you had some front wheel drive or a bit slower car, but on the car you don't have to be so scared all the time, and you can let the car slide a bit and be closer to edge than with bike. It's very hard to reach the limit without going over it. One more interesting thing about this track driving, that the whole car is very hot. The shifting stick is hot, and this tunnel right here is hot, and everything just radiates heat. So I have fueled my car now, and the result was 30 liters, and I have drive and I have driven 150 kilometers, so that makes 20 liters per 100 kilometers. And I calculate what it's in miles per gallon here somewhere. And I think that because that costed only 40 euros, which sounds probably quite a lot for Americans because the fuel is much cheaper there, but I think 40 euros per day of gas ain't that much if you compare it to the cost of tire tires and brakes and stuff like that. Track fee was probably 50 euros, so that's also more. Yeah, but it was very fun and I am going again, and I think I'm going to stay tracks where the walls are far away from the track, because I spinned once and had quite many moments on today's driving, so if I were driving, for example, Ahvenisto track, where is like 2 meters and then there is concrete wall, there isn't room for mistake, so I'm going to probably ride here in Alastaro, and then the Gemora is also good, and Botniaring, and there is couple new tracks also here in Finland now, but they're all quite far away. Yeah, I think that is all for today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.